Greetings and welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast. I am one of the hosts, Junior, and right now we have live with us my brother and my sister. My sister, come on, my brother Benton.
Yellow, yellow, Junior, what go on, engineer? How you doing,
Well,
boss?
I'm good and I'm good. I'm here. I'm here.
I'm good. How is everybody doing?
I am good enough. I am good enough.
What go on? You did a protest this week?
No, made my sign and everything. I'm a pouring peanut. I'm not show up, so I never want to go by myself. So hopefully this week, take a day off from work and just go when the weather is nice.
Some people afraid to go fight by themselves. Them need backup.
I'm gonna need somebody to bail me.
Yo. Well, football family, welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast, the show that we discuss the week's major news in the world of football, aka soccer. We have a mouth-watering show today. A lot of things to discuss, a lot of things that occurred this week in the world of football. But we're going to kick the show off at the top, talking about the protests and some of the upheaval that has been happening in our backyard. It's a touchy subject for a lot of people to discuss, but football teams have made their statements. Some football teams have been, putting statements out there. Some players have protests. First and foremost, if you're watching us on Island Sports Network YouTube page, you can join the discussion. If you're watching us on Ball Chat YouTube page, you can join the discussion. Or Ball Chat Facebook page, you can join the discussion. It's always an interactive show. And ultimately, the first part of the show, we want to try to dissect or get a thoughts or get a feel of your opinion on the protest and the football team's response to the leagues. The Bundesliga has been quite aggressive in showing support for the protesters. But to that end, football family, come on, and Junior, your thoughts on football teams taking a stand. We've seen Liverpool take knee. We've seen Chelsea take a knee. Yet, well, go on. Milan still win for Milan to take a knee. We've seen Bundesliga players wearing Black Lives Matter armband yesterday in the Bundesliga. But in the Bayern Munich players, we also saw Borussia Dortmund players taking a stand. Your thoughts? Is you guys impressed with leagues or teams taking a stand and trying to shed light and alleviate some of these social justice issues?
I mean, it's Germany. It was a little bit of touch and go there because in the first time that Sancho did it, they were talking about probably fining him and a couple other players. So the fact that they decided not to punish them, but then allow the teams to kind of show their support is actually good. Seeing them take a knee is also good with the referees and the staff on the sideline is also good. Waiting to see what my team does when the season restarts, what Premier League does. But one area that I really want to see how they're going to tackle this Italy. Italy is like the hotbed of racism.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how Italy and France France over. But I want to see how Italy addresses this. But so far, I mean, they're taking a stand. They're putting out statements. So I'm impressed with the Bundesliga, and let's see what the Premier League does.
FIFA put out a statement. FIFA fully understand the depth of the sentiment and concerns expressed by many footballers in the light of the tragic circumstances of George Floyd case. And the statement read, FIFA President Infantino adds, quote, for the avoidance of doubt in a FIFA competition, the recent demonstration of players in Bundesliga matches would deserve an applause and not a punishment. Ultimately, FIFA seems to be, in terms of lip service, Junior, showing to back the players for fighting or trying to show support for justice. Do you think this is a publicity stunt by teams in itself or leagues in itself, Junior, or do you think that they will commit to changing or improving the society that they exist in?
I don't think it really matters whether it's a publicity stunt, yes or no. And as a black person, normally we joke around on the show and thing. I'm not going to joke around with this topic. I don't think it matters. It would be nice if it's coming from some place that's genuine, but even if it's not coming from a genuine place, come on, reference Italy. We haven't heard from the Russian leagues as yet either, the Russian teams. So those countries that we know are super racist, we haven't heard anything from them about Black Lives Matter. So it's nice that England, Germany are at the forefront and at the spearhead, because it just makes common sense. You have a bunch of black players in your league. You have a bunch of minorities, not only black players, a bunch of minorities in your leagues. It only makes sense that you support the players that you depend on for revenue. So whether it's a publicity stunt, yes or no, I think it's a great thing, because now the fans are going to know, English FA kind of behind Black Lives Matter. We can't go there and do no more racist chants at a Man City game or at a Chelsea game or a Man U game. Teams in Germany going to know, these players take off them shirts, show Black Lives Matter. You got a yellow card. Them rescind the yellow card, or them say they should have never given the yellow card. Maybe we should not be racist at these games anymore. So I think it's going to be a good, regardless of what the motivation is.
Big up to El Pistolero watching us on Facebook. Big up to Kofi Powell also watching us. Football family, we want to join in the discussion. And the question I want to put to football families members out there is that, do you expect anything from your team, or does it matter at all? Do you think your team should step forward and support this cause for change in the society? Come on, Andrea, we've watched a lot of Bundesliga so far. This post the restart of this pandemic, or we're not through the pandemic, but since the footballers restarted. We watch Bundesliga on Fox Sports Network here in the state, and the Fox 1 and Fox 2. Someone who's a football fan said to me recently, he's having a bit of difficulties watching football on Fox Sports because of Fox News Network has been part of the issue or trouble of not highlighting equality and pushing for equality in the society, and the Rupert Murdoch. Does that trouble you at all, or is that too much as a fan?
You know what? I used to say that. I used to talk about, I can't get behind Fox because, Fox, they're the president's, bucket water carrying people. Yeah. But then the guy who, what's his name? Seth, the guy that he's a Family Guy, what's his name?
Seth MacFarlane.
Right. He is a part of the Fox group, and he is so outspoken when it comes to human rights.
Right.
So, the company is there, and we have an issue with the company, but you have people who, this is their job, this is their livelihood, and they don't feel the same way. So, football is football. The thing is this, we might think that, for example, and I'm not saying this is true, but we can say being sports is liberal, or being sports is so against racism, or we can say, these commentators are not racist, and we'll sit and we'll enjoy being, right?
No.
But then come to think, 2 days down the road, somebody accidentally, who works at Bean, or who's a commentator on Bean, accidentally put out a post or talk about, racism. You're going to say, what? I'm not going to watch Bean anymore. I'm not going to watch any La Liga because that person is racist or that Bean. We have to kind of like, take things. We have to kind of like take things as it goes, or we have to examine things deeper. So for me, the only problem I have like with TNT, whatever, is that poor Champions League coverage. I don't know if anybody else on there is racist or whatever, but I kind of separate the politics from the product that they offer.
Okay. Big up, Kofi Powell said, give thanks, EPL up and running. EPL is not up and running yet, Kofi. We have to go wait a few weeks, and we'll get to that later on in the show. Jason Frame, big up yourself, family, watching us on Ball Chat Facebook page. Teams seems to be more proactive in trying to make some sort of approach, or this is just the spotlight is being shone on them right now. And in the limelight enter Serbian winger Mr. Kate from LA, well, formerly of LA Galaxy. His wife posted, some would equate a racist statement on, I don't have the statement on Instagram, on a social media platform, and the club parted ways immediately. You thought that was good action quickly to sever ties with this player based on his wife's decision? Junior, come on.
Well, first, me, long time. I mean, like, show me your friends, and I tell you who you are.
It is an apology, though.
No, everybody issues an apology. I mean, the dude the other day, the board member who accidentally talked about a whole bunch of race stuff, accidentally went live. He apologized. The guy where we see beat up the little kids them in the park in Maryland, I'm so ashamed. He apologized. But they always, Drew Brees apologized. Roger Goodell, so they all apologize when they're caught. My thing is this: if she was so free and open in talking about this in the atmosphere, I mean, how do you think they talk at home?
Yeah.
This man, he knows his wife. He knows what she thinks. He should know his wife is racist. The fact that she knows that her husband is a public figure and decided that one of her Instagram posts was there's this black person running with a Nike box, and she said Nike matters.
Yes, Nike. Like, yeah.
So I'm like, so
I think the quote is "Black Nike matters" in quotes.
She went out there and she put it. Unfortunately, he lost his job. But remember, the fans were the ones who saw it and actually started protesting. So it was good business, because then how will he interact with the fans at his job, and how will he interact with his black or minority teammates? It's just not something that would have worked out. Let's see if he divorces her. If he does not divorce this woman, same pot, same kettle.
How much of the family life? Junior, your thoughts on this? Peter Vermees of Seattle Sounders, head coach of the Seattle Sounders here in MLS. I know someone said MLS is Bush League, but Peter Vermees have really come out strongly in support of his players. He said, to paraphrase him, he said, if any of you experience this sort of racism in the operation of your daily tasks as a player for a club, let me know. I will take care of it. I will deal with it. So here is Peter Vermees batting for his players. Junior, your thoughts? MLS club seems to be stepping up. Publishers that's done. Junior, engineer, your thoughts?
I want to hit them so bad, but again, it is good. I'm going to maintain the fact that it is good that they are coming out and saying this. I don't think it matters from the coaches or from the league's perspective, but from the overall fans' perspective. When you look at NASCAR, when you look at ice hockey, but NASCAR, for argument's sake, we have never seen NASCAR I have never seen NASCAR associated with something that I want to go and sit and watch. Because for me, NASCAR only attracts a certain demographic of people, right? Okay. What MLS and the other leagues are doing right now, they are so dependent on minorities that they cannot risk isolating these groups of people because they are dependent on them. So it is good that they're giving that message just in case racist people want to try to send a message at one of these events. It should already be in the back of their minds that, look, they're not having it over there. Let's go somewhere else. Go do it at NASCAR. And I'm not saying NASCAR is like that, but that's the impression.
Yes, just an example.
Just an example. So that's the thing. Now, the reality is this. It should not take George Floyd's death. It should not take millions of people protesting. It should not take the world switching now towards really hitting people that have been racist for these teams and leagues to come out and say, hey, just in case you experience racism. Why you never said that last year or this year when Raheem Sterling was racially profiled? It's the same sport.
Yeah.
Why you never come out when you hear everything going on in Italy, in Russia? Why you don't come out and say, hey, we don't want that in MLS? Why wait until the real threat is there that a boycott can really hurt your pocket?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that's the reason why, Junior, because it really going to hurt your pocket. I remember last year with New York City FC, they have an issue with far not people who believe in this one thing and they're willing to listen to other people. There was a group of far right wing sort of people, skinheads and whatever, who attended or who attends New York City FC club, and it was a big thing. It was a big scuffle, and regular fans were complaining. And MLS, I know you didn't hear about it because it wasn't going to hit the pockets of New York City FC. What? I mean, like we can deal with a few fans not coming to the game.
Yeah.
So for this thing, so now it's going to be interesting to see what New York City FC says and what they actually do.
Yes. Hello, Parker Pratt's afternoon family. Hope you guys would join me in celebrating Liverpool's title this season. Yes, Marco, we already start getting ready. You never walk alone. Jason Frame said, not fair though, come on. It is possible for her to be racist, and the husband not know. You know all of Kevin's views?
All of it. Listen to me. I know all of Kevin's views. I know Kevin is a PNP, but he pretend like him is a JLP. I know Kevin love Arnett, even though he comes from Marvelly. I know Kevin say his favorite color is gray when it's actually black. So Jason, back up. I'm telling you, it's comfy. You must hear how she interact with people of color. You must hear how she talk about people of color. You must see, if he does not know, then she's a really great actress, and their marriage is in trouble.
Don't worry, Mike, come on doing marriage counseling, non-ball chat. Taniel Simpson, pick up yourself, family. Watching us on Island Sports Network, Premier League. We'll get to the EPL discussion soon. And
Taniel wanted to know when Premier League start again. I am curious to know which Premier League you're talking about, Taniel, because on Ball Chat we talk about every one of them.
Is it Red Stripe Premier League or English Premier League? And football family, we'll get to our football discussion in a minute, but we understand that, we're having a lot of protests in the backyard. Even come on up, pepper spray out that street there.
Hey, I'm asking about RSPL.
In RSPL.
Next season. When the season restarts. When is it, in August?
Yes, next season. Season is over. Well, it's tentative to start in March, pending in September, if everything kind of calmed down, not March. Pending September. But the reason why we're discussing the protests and some of the issues that have happened in our backyard has been a global movement. Football clubs, teams have stepped forward and shown their support behind the protesters and the movements for equality. We're trying to dice it up and break it down for a little bit. Is it a publicity stunt? Are teams coming into the long haul to address the issue? We know that foot racism is quite rampant in the sport that we support. Even Chelsea have racist fans too. We know that. Some of them. Some, and Manchester United too. Some of
Mayo, go easy.
All right. So we'll see what will happen. And football clubs are a part of the communities, and they exist in the community. They're not in a vacuum. They can't pretend to ignore some of the social issues that exist in the community and extract finances from that community and think that everything is fine. That's why me and Boti, I don't really support anybody. To that end, let's segue from. That's the final say on that from me. Any final thoughts on the protest and how football clubs have responded and FIFA making that statement? Come on, Junior.
Nope.
What Junior? What sort of long term? Is there any metrics that you would say things have changed in football? Come on, is there any metrics that you're looking for?
What metrics?
What
metrics? Metrics for what? For real?
For something, stage or improvement.
From go ahead, come on.
The clubs can implement new things. Like when Raheem Sterling got racially abused, the club stepped in, the police stepped in, and that person was punished. I think what they're doing is banning people. The problem is this: while we can say the onus is on clubs to implement a certain protocol, a certain policy, certain path, right, to deal with racism, there are still people out there that you will never change. You never change their mind. You can't change their attitude. You can't change their perception. You just have to hope that they keep it at home and don't bring it to the game. So what you want to see is teams continuing to ban fans who abuse players, and we want the FAs to give the players freedom. Like, for example, what your boy named Junior, the Chinaman, Igalu?
Igalo.
Igalo, the Nigerian.
Yeah, why is a Chinese one? The Nigerian.
That's racist.
Because he pay at China.
What?
We need to send someone to training and sensitivity training.
Basically, pay in China. That's what I call him. I'll be talking to him. But he said, his last statement he put out, he said he was racially abused in China. He said he was called all kinds of names by players in China. And he said what he's going to do in his career now is that when he's racially abused on the pitch, he will walk off. So we've seen FAs, the presidents come out and say, we're not supporting that. We're not going to allow you to walk off. We see referees call players when they do walk off. What we want to see is unity. When one player is racially abused, we want everybody to walk off and not being punished.
Yeah, but
Jason Frame says, but aren't we all being big hypocrites about Black Lives Matter when we all have teams in the EPL, the home of slavery, especially the Liverpool and Bristol City fans, considering those were the ports of call for the slave ships. Come get me, Kofi and Marco. Man, I show a stone. Hey, by the way, Jason Frame, I support no side and all.
Jason Frame is an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal fan. So I worried him about the little butt open him and get from City. Make him stay.
Yeah, go ahead, Junior. Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
Yeah, but the thing with racism and the metrics, there is no. All you have to do is make it uncomfortable. All right, look, put it this way. And now I'm back to being regular, Junior.
Okay.
Racist white man that is watching Ball Chat right now, if you are racist and you hate the color of our skin, I promise you're not going to make your racist friends know that you watch and enjoy Ball Chat, because they're going to call you the N-word lover, right? If we make English Premier League football, all right, take Atlanta, the Five Stripes. Take Atlanta United, for example, right? We're in Georgia. Atlanta is predominantly black. We all know that. But this is the South. This is the racist South. When you go Benton, when you go to an Atlanta United game, I am yet to go to one, but what is the demographics of the crowd in the stands?
I would say Hispanic community, a large it's a mixed crowd, very diverse. Very diverse crowd.
So it's a very mixed, very diverse crowd, right? Yeah. We're in the South. Yesterday I went to the State Park, and the amount of trucks that passed me with Trump 2020 on it, the big Trump 2020 flags on it, it reminded me that I was living in the South. But we have never heard of an instance at the Georgia Dome when the Five Stripes are playing of any form of racism. We've not heard publicly, right? Maybe it has happened, but it hasn't happened to a scale where it made national news. Or it even made local news. I'm living in Atlanta. I never heard anything about that. In other words, when Atlanta United is playing, the racist people know that that's not somewhere that is for you. Make English Premier League that same way. Even if England is 100% racist, the mere fact that you know for that 2 hours in this stadium, at this particular time, it is fully integrated. There is no space for you. You are risking bodily harm if you go there and make any monkey chance, because the crowd is very, very infiltrated, are very integrated. That's how you stamp out racism. Like, come on, so make it stay at the yard. Leave it at the yard. Don't get caught on camera celebrating with your black Manchester United fan that is sitting beside you when Igalo score on Chelsea. Don't get caught on camera doing that. If you're racist.
Scoring on Chelsea is it happen? I don't know if
It will
that's not
happen.
gonna happen. But Junior, remember, you said you've never heard Atlanta United any racism issues. Of course, when you guys played versus Montreal, and fans had to be ejected from the stands, there was signage,
in Atlanta?
racist signage, homophobic. Yep, there was a homophobic signage, racist signage. It was August. Well, the article come out August 12th, but I don't remember whatever.
Well,
it says Atlanta United fans ejected from supporters section.
Okay.
I feel those are Montreal fans.
Yeah, but the thing is, it happened, and the thing is, Atlanta United dealt with it. That's the thing, and that's all that we're asking for.
True.
When these incidents occur, that fans are held accountable, the FAs get involved, the clubs get involved, and set an example. I don't want to be banned from going to DC United's game. I don't want to be banned. So if I know that the ultimate price of me acting like a fool will be me being banned, then, I mean, come on now.
Well, come on. Why would you want to go to DC United game? I mean, come on.
So we can beat Atlanta United again. Stop it. You better stop it.
And that did occur, and they did eject the fan. But like you said, you have to make the stadium a space where it's unacceptable.
Right.
And we'll see if that will happen in Italy. We've been pushing for that to happen.
Well, Ahmedan, give me a second. Big up Taniel Simpson at Island Sports. Why, Taniel, I really hope you're telling the truth, But he said, I want to play for Manchester United, but I am in Canada playing under 20. So like you're a young baller. Big up yourself, Taniel Simpson.
I thought you want a long career. Why you want to go to Man U?
That aside, Daniel, you need to get a video highlights, get the video highlights together so we can promote it and get you in touch with the people who makes a decision on players, transfer, etc. But you said he does have an agent. He says he loves Manchester United. I don't know why.
And big up Jamaican girl. I think Jamaican girl is a Manchester United girl.
All right, moving away. So we have to stay committed to this cause, football family. Those of us who don't think that's necessary, but those of us who want to continue to fight, those who don't think that's necessary, just go and sit down while I see it and enjoy a ball game. But those of us who think this is important for football to be a part of the change, we got to stay committed. And one side who none try to be a part of the solution.
True. And Jamaican girl said boo never, so it's okay.
Yes. All right, segueing from the discussion about the protests and teams stepping forward or league stepping forward to show support for the protesters for justice and equality. The EPL, Liverpool fans, Gladbach bus days, games set, ready to go. Ready for the crowning moment. Liverpool FC march for their first title in 30 years. The first game back for them will be against Everton. It's undecided where exactly the game will be played because there's a concern about the COVID pandemic still, and that's up in the air. Come on, have they decided, and Junior, have they decided on VAR? They've approved 5 sub. The EPL will restart on June 17 with Arsenal versus Man City. Some people say Arsenal I get 6. They've approved the 5 subs. VAR is still out there. Neutral venue is still undecided. Come on, Junior. EPL almost back.
Germany has shown you that you don't need the neutral venue, right? They don't play neutral venues. Everybody play them club.
Germans allegedly are well behaved. The Brits are not so well behaved, allegedly.
Listen, we're coming to stadium and just give the doors out. But the neutral, there's many people in play them. They already don't have fans. They need them. I guess the atmosphere not going to be there, but they still need to play at home. I don't agree with the neutral venue. Let the people in play them clubs.
Yes.
For VAR, it depends.
No, come on. It depends on.
It depends if it affects my team negatively. Okay, if VAR is going to help my side, we're going to need VAR. But didn't they say that they're they're, they're not sure in VAR yet that they're going to see, they're going to leave it up to the club. Is that what they said? That's ridiculous. I don't
Which
want
is
them to.
just indecisive. Just make a decision already. If you're gonna use VAR for the rest of the season, use it. In fact, it's imperative, in my opinion, to use VAR for the remainder of the season. If you use VAR for this portion of the season, use it for the remainder of the season. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, but I don't even know why we listen to you because you don't have no club. Until you pick a side, we don't want anything from you.
I am the only one who's fair and balanced in these discussions.
I don't know for fair and balance. I don't. Your judgment even off because he's a Mullines fan. But you're right. You're right. We use VAR for the first half of the season, whatever game to play already. Let us continue using VAR, and maybe they'll perfect VAR without the fans abusing them, without the added pressure of the fans. Maybe VAR can be improved.
The schedule is set, Junior, for the first round of games, June 17, Wednesday, Man City versus Arsenal. June 19, Spurs versus Manchester United. And June 21st, Everton versus Liverpool. Man City, if Man City lose to Arsenal, Liverpool can become champions by winning against Everton in that Merseyside derby, Junior. Manchester United, Paul Pogba is back, healthy. The entire Manchester United squad is ready to go. I mean, that matchup against Spurs, teams are playing friendly games. Arsenal beat the brakes off Charlton in a friendly game a couple of days ago. Junior, excited for your Manchester United outfit to ride out on June 19 against Spurs.
I don't know if they're going to win. I can't. I don't know what team is going to show up. But I'm happy to finally watch English Premier League again, and I'm hoping they learn from the Bundesliga. Because the Bundesliga has set the trend right now for televising the games and setting the atmosphere, even if the stadium is empty. So, apart from that, though, I'm happy, and we're going to see some exciting games. And the good thing is, the EPL could have never picked or could have never. How are they so fortunate that the return games after so long of a layoff are these big mega market games?
Yes.
Like, how fortunate can they be? It could have been Man U versus what idiot side like Chelsea, but they might play a big side Tottenham.
Yeah, the matches are mouth-watering. I mean, Everton. I don't know if Everton can find it somewhere, somehow to beat Liverpool in that Merseyside.
Stop it.
I don't know. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti is still the manager of Everton, Moises Keane, and the entire Everton outfit. People are getting healthy. There's a concern about injuries, of course, with the front schedule that's going to be coming on the pipe. But, I mean, the decision makers are very much concerned about that Merseyside derby. It should be held at Everton. But of course, it's a long rivalry between these two clubs, and you cannot guarantee, the police cannot guarantee the safety or the fans won't show up if, for this matchup. Come on.
I'm sorry, what was that? No idea.
Yeah, the Merseyside. So you think that they should go ahead and have the games, even though at home and away, because at the Merseyside derby, if they do keep it at Everton, and the fans are going to show up anyway, and the police is definitely concerned about this. I mean, it's a bitter rivalry, and we have a pandemic.
I don't. As I said, I'm not into the neutral venue foolishness. I hope home teams that have their home on the fixture actually gets to play at home. Okay. So I mean, they have to. I mean, they have enough cops to deal with the rowdy fans out there. They'll be okay.
And I mean, there's been massive protests this week in England and across Europe. So I mean. COVID, what COVID? Big up yourself, Marcus Collins, watching us on Facebook. Marcus said Liverpool. Marco Price says, Julia, you don't sound optimistic about Manchester United right now. El Pistolero said the mayor of Liverpool is trying to make the game play at Everton. I think the game is an Everton home game, so rightfully so, Everton should
Guys,
have that game.
let
Game
let
have that game.
let
Game
let
at home.
let's call a
Yeah, go
spade.
ahead.
Let's call a spade a spade. For these, why they want to have a neutral venue is because I don't think they can guarantee the safety of the players at all of these venues. The big money sides aside, that's a different argument. But if 2 months ago we were talking about furloughing staff, we were talking about they don't have enough money. What's a guarantee that the stadium is clean? What is a guarantee that the stadium has ever even been clean since the last game was played 3 months ago? If you can't, Liverpool and Chelsea and Man City. Even though Man City Stadium hardly used anyway, so they don't have to worry about the seats. But really and truly though, all the safety protocol that needs to be covered for these stadiums to pass regulations to say we can 100% guarantee that you're not going to get any. Forget about COVID-19. You're not catch ringworm. And it might sound funny, but if the stadium hasn't been cleaned, haven't been sanitized, why should we bring our players to play at a game there? And again, we're not talking about the big money stadiums where them can pay people. What about, I don't want calling any team and disrespect any team. What about the lower budget teams that can't pay their groundskeeper? How the fields stay? We don't even know how the fields are right now. So it would be nice if Everton can host Liverpool, but can the low budget team host a Manchester United with a Liverpool? They can.
They can.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, come on. They can host. I mean, they've been hosting games prior to the pandemic. So they can.
Yeah, and they've gotten an injection of funds. So they'll be fine. I just think if you're a home team, play your yard.
Yes, it's unfair. Just to remind football fans, the table: Liverpool 82 points, Man City.
Why are we talking about Liverpool? Just talk about number 2 down, brother. Liverpool win already. God, it done.
Football family, Junior, engineer, your mic is in your shot. Can you take care of engineer? Your mic, Junior, your mic, your upper level mic. Get that mic out the way, please, because we're seeing your mic. Your boost mic. Get that mic out your shot. Junior.
Actually, you can't see it still.
So Man City is in second. Manchester United is in fifth, is in the theoretical other Champions League spot, pending this Manchester City appeal to the Court of Arbitration. We'll talk about that in a second. At the bottom of the table, Norwich look like they're already dead. Goose probably cooked. Aston Villa and Bournemouth are sitting at the bottom. Norwich sitting on 21 points. Before we move away from the EPL restart, the latest round of testing, to my knowledge, the report says no positive tests in the EPL batch of testing completed June 5th. I think there was a positive result, or 3 positive results in the championship batch of testing. Right? Come on.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that's good news for the start. The elephant in the room is a running. Before we get to Manchester City and the elephant in the room, big week for Chelsea. Chelsea activate. Why Chelsea fans? I'm glad Bog Boss activated the release clause of Timo Werner. Timo Werner, highly sort of talent, currently with RB Leipzig. Come on, your thoughts on this? Should they execute this deal?
The deal is not yet done, so let us just kind of
It's a verbal agreement, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. It's a verbal agreement.
Pump the brakes, man. How many verbal agreements we've seen and not come true?
Yeah, all right.
No, but which verbal agreement though?
Pump the brakes a little bit.
Which verbal agreement though? Which verbal agreement? The release clause has been triggered, so it's up to Chelsea and Werner to hash out.
Yeah, I think him agree to personal terms. You know what? That's what they always use when you're working on the contract or working on a transfer. The player and the club agree to personal terms. We don't know yet. Listen, I am pumping the brakes because it has not been completed yet. If Chelsea goes ahead and get this player. He's a very good player, but he's just one person. And I know that Lampard is trying to build a world-class squad. I saw where he wants to get back Nathan Ake from Bournemouth, which is, if I mean like Ake, I'm telling him to go jump off. I want to go back. So he's trying to build a squad. So Timo Werner is one man. I saw the same excitement around Captain America, and he just did not play. So I'm tapering my expectations.
Slow down.
Football family, boy, this is madness because when Junior released the news in the middle of the week about the activation or the triggering of the release clause, somebody was on cloud nine. I guess only a few days later, they're very calm now.
But Bedad, you know, you're come on to talk about the same excitement as Christian Pulisic. Listen to me. Werner is a legit striker. The only knock I will have against him right now, or not knock, but the only resistance I will have to call on him as success waiting to happen in England. I don't know how he's going to take the hits because he's not the biggest player, and I don't know if Lampard is going to change his system. Remember, Lampard played 4-2-3-1, right, or 4-3-3. So is Werner going to be the main striker? I mean, that is I don't know. But if you put him beside Abraham, Werner is going to be extremely successful. So comparing him to Pulisic, come on, I understand your resistance or your reservation to showing your glee. But come on, man, this is a great.
Say what you want to say about Christian Pulisic. You know, I am not a fan of Pulisic. His fee was 58 million. Timo Werner is 68 million. Same expectation. Listen to me, Junior. Just stop talking about my side and talk about your side.
Exactly. Thank you, because guess what? Because guess what? Alexis Sanchez, how much we pay for Alexis Sanchez? How much striker winger out there? A lot less money. It's a state to Pulisic. Werner is a world-class talent. Did we not see what he did to Tottenham? Have we forgotten that Tottenham game? And how he make Tottenham look like they're running backwards?
Exactly. But you know what? I think Leipzig is the winner in all of this. They paid 10 million for him. And I said him back for 68 million. And that's a call world-class business.
But they also really improved him in the meantime, right? Come on, since they tried.
Oh my God, man, that's a 58 million.
That's a market value. So to kind of put an overview of this trigger, teams have until June 15 to trigger this release clause for Timo Werner. And the shock in the football world, we thought that Liverpool had the inside track to sign this player because there's been reports of conversations that have occurred with Klopp and Timo Werner. And so the experts in the field has reported that they thought that he would have ended up with Liverpool. But Liverpool apparently, currently, according to Sky Sport, is reluctant to meet that release trigger.
Liverpool have them a breed of money, but hold on there.
Yeah.
Junior, are they still working on that rule that says Chris Smalling and Alexis Sanchez can't come back and help Manchester United, even though they're on loan? Do you know anything? Because they're talking about Manchester United wanted to bring them back to help them in the campaign. But there's this rule that says they can't use them. But the FA says they're working on it. Have you heard of working on it? Have you heard about that rule?
Well, let me tell you something. I'm being 100% serious now. I have on a serious face. When we watch Bundesliga, and let me bring it full circle. When we watch Bundesliga right now, and we see a spot on the field for like every 5 yards, and there's a ball on that spot. I don't think England was planning to imply that or to bring that in. So I have to big up Woodward now because this is Woodward trying to bring in fit ball boys to throw the ball back into the players. Because with the need to keep the ball rolling and having Alexis Sanchez and Chris Smalling as very fit ball boys, since they're very good and very fit, it would have helped us in our campaign. That's the only help them can give in a campaign. Oh, you talk about help in a campaign. Come on.
All I know is say Manchester United have some money at dash rate. Alexis Sanchez is a very expensive ball boy. I wouldn't should have shame. I are wasting money, but Manchester United take the care.
Listen to me. You ever see a ball boy jersey sell yet? Man U is the only side that have a ball boy jersey for sale. When Chelsea step up them game and can sell ball boy jerseys, come talk to me. Until then,
Marcus Collins said they should play at Disney. I don't know if it's regarding to the EPL. Marco Pratt said Dirty Watford. And Marcus, they should play at Disney as it's safe there. You know, MLS is also talking about trying to play
That's Disney.
and Marco Pratt says 82 points, you know, pointing out Liverpool sitting at 82 points. And he also says, Ray, it's another Fernando Torres. As in maybe Timo Werner is another Fernando Torres.
Hey, that's the fox of the grape right there, so talking.
So, football lovers, one of the big news, we're excited about EPL returning and games coming down the pike, exciting matches coming down the pike. But there's an elephant in the room regarding Champions League qualification. Manchester City appeal to the Court of Arbitration officially commenced tomorrow. Manchester City will present their case against the suspension, the 2-year suspension from Champions League. Is it imperative that Manchester City find a way to get this ban revoked? Come on, and Junior. They're looking at somewhere at estimate I've seen as 190 million pounds. They're about if they are suspended for 2 years from this league.
So in other words, you're saying that Manchester City needs to take out the checkbook.
They have to find a way. They have to.
But listen, that's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. They had their trial. They had the meeting. The decision came down. Whatever the ruling that was given for Man City, they weren't lying. Plus, Man City, they refused to even assist. They refused to turn over information. They refused to cook that alone with a ban them for 1 year for. But it's true. I mean, the financial impropriety it was mind-boggling. So the financial fair play. I mean, come on now, Benton. Listen, I would just take, because I'm have to pay for appeal. I would just take their money, make them come in, pay me for the appeal. When them come, I just stamp it deny and ban them for 2 years. Simple. Go shoot Man City, because they've been doing this for a long time. It's from 2012. So they've been acting the fool and skirting the laws, and they've gotten caught. So that's when we hear say Leon Bailey is supposed to go to Man City. I'm like, why? They're not play Champions League football for 2 years.
Oh my God. The suspension, just to remind football fans, from the period 2012 to 2016, Man City suspended for 2 years, had to pay, if the rule, the fine, the decision is upheld, have to pay £33 million in addition to being out of Champions League. Junior, financial fair play rule do you see financial fair play rule at stake here? This ruling has to be a clean ruling. People have long rumored that Man City have skirted and cooked the books. There's been these allegations. Do you think that there needs to be a clear decision by CAS, the Court of Arbitration? And even if CAS rules against Man City, do you think Man City will try to go to a civil court to try to find a way around this?
That's a loaded question. Man City will go to ends of the earth to try to overturn it. So every means possible they will do.
Their survival almost depends on a positive ruling for them, right?
Yeah, but then the Court of Arbitration, how will they rule? What will be the football numbers post COVID-19? Once we go back to if we go back to 3 substitutions or 3 players substitute per game, when football becomes normal again, what will be the what will be the cost of bringing in transfers? What will there be a salary cap? All those things have to come into play now, because if we're moving into that realm, then it makes what Manchester City did in the past look 20 times worse. So will they be lenient on them, or will they be heavy-handed on them with their eyes looking towards the future, where they can say, look, here is an opportunity for us to set the precedent. Here's an opportunity for us to reset the books, make everybody, every team go back now and say, yo, we don't want to happen to us, happen to Man City. Let's clean up our budget statements and clean up our income statement for the last 10 years. Let's go to straight and narrow, and then them come and change the monetary aspect of football. That is what I'm expecting. I think they're going, I don't think 2 years. I think Man City going to lose next year, Champions League, which won't be a big loss, because that will be a year when the world is still trying to figure out what I'm going to look like. So I think that's the middle ground. I really think that's going to happen.
Big decision coming down that Manchester City start presenting case. 3 arbiters will be hearing the case. 1 appointed by UEFA or selected by UEFA, 1 selected by Man City, and 1 appointed by the Court of Arbitration. It's Man City life at stake, and that has significant implication for Champions League and the EPL and how teams play out the season in Champions League. Junior, you brought up something regarding salary cap as we try to move away from football in England. Gianni Infantino, FIFA president, alluded to maybe a salary cap in the game coming down. Thoughts on this? Come on.
I think the salary cap is needed, because we were hearing some astronomical figures for players transfer in, and we hear about the super agents and how the super agents can manipulate the system and basically manipulate the money and manipulate teams, whole teams that run some for one player. So I think post-COVID is going to force, it might not be a hard cap, because when you think about it, you can't look at it like the NFL or the NBA, where everybody's under one umbrella, because you have multiple countries, you have multiple forms of currency. How are we going to, if England use pounds, and I guess, let's just for argument's sake, Italy use, I don't know what their currency, but let's say it's euros. Just for argument's sake. How are we going to cap Italy versus capping England with the exchange rate? And then how are we going to level the playing field for the Champions League when England, there's a player that England couldn't afford because of their salary cap, but Italy could afford that player because of their salary cap, and now an Italy team playing against an English team? How are we going to mitigate that difference on the field that was caused by the cap? So I can't see a hard cap coming, but there's going to, at least a luxury tax, but there's going to be something there, some percentage, and you have to pay up.
Come on, your thoughts on Infantino alluding to possible cap, at least entertaining, or he's suggesting a cap in the game?
I think that he's onto something, because we've seen some ridiculous money. Like, for example, they're talking about Real Madrid submitting a $90 million bid for Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. So you're like, 90 million. And you're looking at, and you're like, 90 million. You know, and then gone with Timo Werner with his 68 million. And you know how I feel about Captain America, 58 million. So, you know, those some crazy numbers out there. In terms of salary cap, I agree. You have to figure out a way. Junior talk about a different currency. Junior use xecurrency.com. They need to figure it out. 50 million for the player cap in a pound, 50 million a euro. You want to go somewhere else? They get that money. You get that money. They have to find some way to figure it out. Yeah, they have to. And Junior I think Junior should be one of the persons on the front line with a sign, because Alexis Sanchez robbed Manchester United.
Lord of mercy.
Brad says that appeal will sort out that. As in Man City, must be a Man City fan. He's hoping that the appeal will take care of that.
I've put this disclaimer out real quick. People, you hear the digs that the Chelsea supporter over there, so throw at us, great Manchester United fans. That's how you know football is almost back. And remember, Ball Chat was here all through the pandemic. We're about to kick it back up in the next couple of weeks because I can't wait for beat Chelsea people.
You can't beat Chelsea no time. Off the field, on the field, I can't do it. Stop it, field, I can't do it. Stop it.
So
maybe
but now is the time to let people know, that we didn't do it during the Bundesliga because it's only one league playing. But when the other leagues start kicking back up, if you're new to the show, post-pandemic, if you weren't here pre-pandemic, every week we have what we call ballers and bugs. So you watch the games, who is your baller of the week, who is your bug of the week, you forward and get ready for defend your baller and defend your
ballers and bugs are back. Trust me, EPL will have a lot of bugs. Segueing from salary cap, perfectly set up. Come on, you're talking about a cap. Let's go to La Liga. Maybe rather than a salary cap, teams should actually pay the actual salaries that the fee, transfer fee, rather than do installment like Barcelona. I read an article recently, Barcelona still have not paid off the Felipe Coutinho transfer to Liverpool. Come on, how many years that one? And I'm still not finished that payment. This is ridiculous.
Hold on, are the same person who run Arsenal, run Barcelona, because them still not pay off for Pepe. So I mean, what is going on? That's what we're talking about, the exorbitant, the money just ridiculous. I'm like, remember how you always tell people, live within your means? I think with this pandemic, clubs will start living within their means because that's just ridiculous.
And now Barcelona looking to maybe transfer a few other players and pay the Coutinho money. All right, segueing from...
But where's Coutinho going to go, though? Because apparently no team wants him.
I thought he's going to Chelsea.
Rodriguez. Where?
I thought he's going to Chelsea. Wasn't there reports that Chelsea expressed an interest in him? Or Spurs.
Next subject. Skip.
Yeah, but I mean, Felipe Coutinho cannot handle Jose Mourinho. He doesn't have the stomach for that salary. Too soft. Yeah, it's too soft play. La Liga returns June 13th this week. Come on, your big side. Barcelona sitting on top of the Liga, 58 points. Real Madrid sitting in 2. Yo, ball game again. Lionel Messi was out of training for an injury, and he returned recently. Your thoughts on La Liga coming back?
We're ready.
We're ready.
We're ready. We're ready. Nobody not gonna beat me. We're ready. We're good. Our title is.
Ivan Rakitic says that their focus is on 2 titles this year, winning La Liga and Champions League some point in August. We'll see how Barcelona. The beautiful thing for Barcelona is that the Baita, El Cannibal, Luis Suarez return, so they have gotten their full tilt of strikers back.
And still have the molasses defender them. I mean, like, come on now.
But it's good to see. I mean, one of the teams that really hopefully have gotten healthier in the pandemic is Atletico Madrid. They're sitting in the 5th position in La Liga, down there, away from Champions League. So they need to make hay and start getting and closing the gap pretty quickly.
But come on, just in case, if you guys want to, at Barcelona want to activate the release clause in our defender, we have one in Chris Smalling, so you guys Smalling too.
All you even rather stay at Pique.
La Liga returns this weekend. Barcelona plays Mallorca as the opening game on Thursday, and then we have a few other matches coming on Friday and Saturday. Bayern, let's step away from La Liga to Bundesliga recap. Bayern Munich closing title 2 wins away as they beat the brakes of Bayer Leverkusen. My baller Leon Bailey was subbed at halftime. Junior, come on. Leon Bailey like not ready for the video light. Well, go on.
What? Hey, it was interesting when there's this article that says, they interviewed him before the game because he has always starred the show when they play against Bayern Munich, right? Yes. So he's always scoring the winners and always having a good game. So I always thought that Bayern Munich would be a good fit for him. But anyways, so they interviewed him and they were asking me questions. He was talking about his teammates. He was talking about Diaby. And when they asked him about his boss. He exhaled sharply and said, "Skip."
Really?
Yes. So it's rough, and because Kevin and I were talking about it, and they're saying that the coach played a 3-4-3, and Leon was a part of the four. Leon was so deep that one of the time I thought he was covering the goalkeeper. So he didn't have a chance to kind of have an impact on the game. I personally, I don't know why Diaby starts over him, because Diaby brings nothing to the table other than run. His decision making is poor, and the fact that Leon always scores on Bayern would be one of the reasons I would keep him on the pitch. You never know. It can be an 89-minute goal. You never know. So it was just unfortunate that he didn't get an opportunity to continue the stretch that he has had versus Bayern.
Bayer Leverkusen is sitting on 56 points, slightly outside of the Champions League spot. Junior, Bayern Munich beat the bricks off them. Bayern Munich said, "Yo, take our first goal." Yo, Junior, your thoughts on this?
Let me tell you something.
As expected, right?
No, yes, it was expected, but I don't think Leverkusen. What the hell is wrong with this coach? I mean, look at Bayern Munich and look at how Bayern Munich deploy their team, right?
Yeah.
They play 4-3-3 in essence, right? You have Mueller playing on the right side of the wing, in that central three. But up front, you have Lewandowski, who's probably the best number 9 in the world. You have two grease lightning fast wingers playing with them. You have Alphonso Davies that is lightning fast coming up the left wing. And what Leverkusen, they play 3-4-3, right? So you play 3-4-3. You're in essence matching your 3 defenders against Bayern's front 3. And you are telling your left winger and your right winger to essentially play wing backs. You're essentially playing a 5-3-2 formation or even 5-2-3 formation, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
And then you have Leon Bailey, who is an attacking player. And you are expecting him to run back. Bailey looked like and a couple weeks ago, that's what I said about Bailey. But I support him now talking out against the coach. Because the coach is an idiot. You cannot play him. You
support him talking out about which coach?
His coach.
You're mad.
Come on.
Stop it.
Come on. Let me tell you something. When I watched that game, I was watching Bailey, and I was watching him that whole first half. I can tell you the instant when the coach said, "I'm taking you off halftime." You see, right before the halftime whistle, the right winger made a cross, and Bailey just stood right there like about 30 yards from the goal, and the ball bounced right in front of him. He didn't even take a step towards the ball. Didn't even make a step. And right then and there, I looked at that player and said, he just doesn't want to play on the field right now. When he was playing, Diaby have the ball and he run gone. I used to poor Bailey like him just literally jogging, knowing that him just wasting him time running up the wing. You could tell that he just was not motivated to play. How the hell can a coach deploy a winger, an attacking winger, ask him to play defense? When Mourinho start coach of Germany, that's what me want to know right now. Because Mourinho is the only player only coach I say put a left winger at left back. And this coach come and put Bailey at left back. Because he essentially play left wing back. And Bailey did not want to cross half line going back in defense. When he crossing half line going up in attack, it's just a waste of running. And look at the field. Outside it look hot. So
well, all we know is if Taxi injured and Topper want him run a back, him have to go play. Because apparently he can play around it too.
Come on.
I always wonder why. And Diaby is 20. Maybe they're trying to bump up his transfer. I don't know his transfer fee. I don't know what the issue is. But he did not help his cause yesterday. His decision making was so poor. He couldn't cross the ball good. Him just run down the field. Who is, and not because Bailey is a Jamaican, but whenever Bailey play against Bayern, him score. Why would you take him off the pitch? And you saw the frustration at the halftime whistle when he boot the ball.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the reason why coach took him off. I mean, we don't even know.
Trust me.
It's just weird. It's just weird. He is not injured, and the people playing his position not necessarily better than him. So you have to wonder what else is going on for this to happen. It can't be the field issues, because when he comes on, even as a substitute, he plays well. So, even the last game, he had that assist. Diaby on the pitch and there was no production, but yet he plays the entire 90 and you substitute this young man I'm not going to say him play out of position, because I've seen him play around there before. That's one of the two positions he has played. But it's just kind of weird.
No,
so now maybe the rumors are just to the city really go and pick up.
But then this is the thing now. When I was watching the game, I remember, and for all those who didn't see Ball Chat last week, Craig Butler was on last week, right? Bailey's father, and he said something during the interview when we talked about Bailey, and he was talking about the Jamaican football not having a system, right? And he said, in Germany, the coach tells Bailey, you are playing in a 3-4-3 formation and you are expected to go down the wing and do this. While in Jamaica, there's no set system, right? Now, when he said that, he was saying that to speak about the development of football in Jamaica. But when I watched that game yesterday, it makes me wonder now, if the coach is telling Bailey, do whatever, go down the wing, expect the ball, cross the ball, whatever it is. Because it sounds like it's a very strict regimen, and even the commentators mentioned a couple times during the game that no matter what the score is, no matter what the pressure is, they're going to play a certain type of way coming out. So it's common knowledge that they have a set system and expectation of how to play. I am sure there's nowhere on that coaching board that it tells Diaby, forget the ball, 40 yards out, you're on your left foot, you're on the left wing, kick the ball 5 yards to the left. You have probably one of the world's best goalkeeper in the goal and shoot a 30-yard shot from a difficult angle. I know there's nowhere on the coach's board is telling him to say that. So now me have to ask myself, is it that Diaby is freelancing? Is it that he's doing what he wants on the field, and Bailey, who is playing on his wing, is sitting down thinking to himself, yo, the coach have to do this and do that, and he lost motivation at that point? That made me ask a question. And now for come on, when you ask, why is Diaby playing over Bailey? Maybe because of his aggression. It's wrong. It's wrong. Because Bailey is a better baller than Diaby. It's obvious. But that could be the reason why. Because one thing about Diaby, he's aggressive. He's aggressive. He's not afraid to take on a defender. He's not afraid to shoot. He's wild, but he's aggressive. And maybe that's what the coach wants. So, I don't know. Bailey.
But I have heard commentators say Bailey aggressive and selfish. Those are the same attributes that people aside to Diaby as well.
Right.
But Bailey decision making is better. Bailey is stronger than Diaby. So I mean, like, there has to be something else, because we're not seeing the on-the-field production that Diaby really brings to the table to say or to justify why Bailey is not playing that position or Bailey is not starting. That's all I'm saying. So, as Craig said, hold him up, keep working. Maybe when maybe he's on his way out. You don't even know.
Is it a sense that Leon Bailey is already on his way out, and Peter Boyd is looking at Diaby and see what exactly he has in this player or have in this player, and for whatever reason it just doesn't add up. We know that when we see Diaby plays, he's definitely not not worth, Leon Bailey sitting on the bench for. Big up football family. Just try to get to them comments. Jason Fremsen Manton Wingback. He also says, look out for your coach now. Marco Pratt said Atalanta or Bayern Munich will win the Champions League. Jeremy and Samuels, big up yourself. Football family says he might gear up for ship out. And Kevin Eldy says, yes, he's a freelance player. Marco also says, as a coach said, play left back, you play left back to the best of your ability. Teamwork. Big up Jason Ferguson, big up Mersey, legend Kevin.
Kevin. And also on Island Sports Network, BM said that I think that the coach is trying to undermine Leon Bailey. I heard the coach is benching Leon because of alleged attitude problems. Jamaican girl said, Brads, you're saying City going to spend more money to play the Champions League. They will lose the appeal. Charles said, I agree. It is more than on the field issues. The players who play ahead of him are not necessarily better than him. So it is confusing. BM said Leon should leave Bayer Leverkusen ASAP. They are trying to stifle him. A Jamaican girl said that this would be the second team he has played with where fans say he's being stifled. Isn't that weird or just a part of life? BM said Leon Bailey is a bigger baller for Diaby. A lot of politics happen.
And to piggyback on what Jamaican girl I think said on Island Sports Network is that why this team have so much invested. They signed Leon Bailey for £20 million, I think was the transfer fee. And if he's their biggest attribute attacking wise going forward, why are they benching him? What is the purpose? What are they trying to prove here? I mean, if he gives them a better chance to win, what is the goal of sitting him? So clearly there's something else that's going on.
Yep.
Because we know he scores.
Is he there for another 2 years? His contract ends when 2022?
Oh, I'm not sure when his contract runs. I do not know. But clearly, if he gives them better, you said he has scored against Bayern Munich. I mean, they're in the business of want to win games. So what it is about this relationship with Peter Boys and Leon that maybe have run south, or this club that maybe have gone south. But good luck to you, baller. But like you said, Craig did said last week, Peter Bowes is a good coach. He did say, put him in high regard. He was very PC in his answer when we asked him about that. So good luck to you, Leon. Just keep your head up and keep keep going.
2023. The contract ends 2023.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got to get out of this. He's got to get out of it. Or maybe Peter is trying to teach Leon something, and he's trying. Some players, them stiff-necked, them refuse to adapt or adhere to the coaches, the teaching, and so this benching is part of this coming to aid sort of. Remember, Pep Guardiola used to do the same thing and have done the same thing with Leroy Sané.
But Ben Dan,
right?
Right? Ben Dan.
Yes.
What could Leon Bailey be doing or not doing to make the coach want to teach him a lesson that Diaby is skipping that lesson? What could he be doing?
In Peter's press conference, he said, quote, we made a lot of mistakes. Bayern Munich is a good team. They deserve to win. But in the first 30 minutes, we made a lot of mistakes.
You were up 1-0. You are playing a 3-4-3 formation against a team that moves the ball quickly. Who made the mistake? Come on, coach. Yo, I made a mistake. I played the wrong formation. We should have known better. We will adjust and do better next time. It's not we made a lot of mistakes.
He said we lost to a top team today, even in the first 30 minutes when we were still in it. I could feel that we were not in normal shape. But that certainly had something to do with Bayern's quality, but it's also with ourselves. We made too many mistakes today. You can't afford that against Bayern Munich. They deserve to win. So maybe Peter is trying to teach Leon a lesson. Maybe you need to adapt to the shape of the squad. But moving away from it.
Is he trying to pull a next Alphonso Davies? I mean, Alphonso went to Bayern and was a striker. Now he's a left back. I mean, is that what he's trying to do?
No.
Is he trying to turn Leon in a utility player? And the thing is, it's so weird because remember, Craig said that Leon plays with both feet. I mean, he can play. I mean, Vala not there, Havertz injured. I mean, play Leon opposite of Diaby. That is ridiculous, crazy speed and power going at Bayern Munich.
All right, and just to play devil's advocate, Peter is a good coach. Don't you think he sees
He
that
is,
coming?
but he's making, and it's easy for us to be sofa coaches, right?
Yes.
But he has not been getting the results that he should get. His squad is youngish, right? And they're good players. I mean, he has the pieces. Even when you have the players that are injured, they're the good pieces out there. He shouldn't be losing. I mean, they scored first versus Bayern. I mean, it was just, they were outmatched and outplayed and outcoached.
Yeah, but they were outmatched, outplayed, and outcoached by a bigger, better side. So let's move on from the look at idiot side, our mid-table team, and let's move on to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich beat and teach Leverkusen, but Robert Lewandowski is pushing. Can he break this record by Gerd Muller, their Bombers' record of 40 goals in a season? He's got four more games to play because he'll be out of the Mönchengladbach game coming this weekend. I mean, do you see him breaking this record?
He can.
Yeah, because it's Bundesliga.
Yeah. And they're the best team in the league. But listen, you know, I always say it. You know, like when you play a game and you say it's only so and so. Like when we beat Arsenal or whatever, and you say it's only either Arsenal. If Bayern Munich not dominate, we'll cost them. How you can't have them big baller and the biggest side in Germany and you still lose? So they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do: beat and teach. And the quality, yes, we're so used to watching English Premier League, and the quality is different. Let us call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he can only play the teams that are put in front of him. So I do think that he can break the record. He's on fire. He's playing well. I think he has but I think he's suspended the next game. I'm not sure.
Yes, he's after the Mönchengladbach game. So
but I do think he can break the record.
Yeah, 40 goals is a record set by Der Bomber, former great of German football. 40 goals, that's a winning for goal in our season, Junior.
I think, it is, but I think Muller have a better chance of breaking the assist record than Lewandowski. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, because I think Lewandowski have to average what? How much goals do you have to average for the next 4 games to do it? 2 goals, right?
Two goals, or 2 to 3 goals.
That's not happening.
2.5 goals a game.
That's not happening. But
Liga Junior, the man can't score 4 in one game.
It is not happening. But Muller, I think, will break the assist record, which will be well deserved.
Muller is even, but he's also out of that Mönchengladbach game coming out this weekend.
But this is Bundesliga.
But quickly before we move away from Bayern Munich and their domination of this league, it's almost certain they will win. They're 2 wins away from winning the title. Kingsley Coman, a kid who has been riddled with injury. He plays on the left wing of Bayern Munich. He had a decent game in that game against Bayern Leverkusen yesterday. Do you think Kingsley Coman's days are numbered at Bayern Munich, pending the rumor that Leroy Sané is supposed to be a high-price transfer for them?
That's the rumor, but Kingsley is 23. He's a young player, even though you say he's been with injury. He's always in Jamaica partying. So I mean, he might leave, he might stay. There are other clubs in Bundesliga that he can do well at Bayern, Leverkusen. He can go to Borussia Dortmund. I mean, there are other places that he can go, and I do think that he'll, I think he'll stay, because 23, that's a great investment for a player. He's 23 years old.
All right, rounding up our Bundesliga recap. Borussia Dortmund won again, but who cares? They're going to play number 2 anyway. But most importantly, what I wanted to get your opinions on is Emery Chan said, quote, Jadon Sancho needs to grow up. Jadon Sancho got fined for getting a haircut. And do you think Emery Chan was a bit wise in making that statement publicly about Sancho needs to grow up?
It's not the haircut. It's the lack of PPE. It's the lack of protective gear. He didn't have a mask on. It's not getting the haircut was the problem. But it was that he was not protecting himself. And we see how this play out in Barcelona when El Cannibal did the same thing with Dembele. I mean, some things you keep in house.
Yeah.
Unless they're not friends to begin with, and this seems like they're not friends. Because if you're my friend, I could do it versus WhatsApp or do, because you don't have to go there in the media. If a reporter asks you something like that, just say, I spoke to him, and everything is okay. Or you don't have to say anything. Do like I barely do and say skip.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is a matter of life. I'm not overstating it. It's a matter of life and death. And we don't know. What if Sancho broke the rules many times before? And what if this is the last straw where Chan feels the need to put public pressure on him? We don't know enough.
Make the coach do that, Junior. No, this is just discord in camp. Would you want your teammate to go out in the public and say something like "Am I correct, yo"? Don't you think it's the coach's job to do that?
It is, but again, this is not about winning games. So I can see where Chan is coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I'm just throwing the what if scenario out there. What if this is not the first time? What if Chan is still upholding the code and not saying, well, this is like the fifth time Sancho has taken his garbage outside without wearing protective gear. We don't know. We don't know what is the circumstance leading up to this. And Chan doesn't strike me like the type of player that is a cancer in a locker room. We've experienced.
No fun and mischievous. Go on. Listen, I just think it's a bad look. Some things you need to keep in house, and you will think, Junior, if this is a recurring thing with Sancho, don't you think that Borussia Dortmund would have stepped in? They would have fined him. You'd have heard about it somewhere else in the media. I mean, something else. I just don't think it's your teammate's job to put the business out there. I just think it does discord when it comes in the locker room, and the trust is just not there. Anymore.
I agree. And I support Sancho United.
And Sancho did not help himself. When it was announced, he tweeted, it was an absolute joke. DFL, as in the Bundesliga governing body. So to kind of get the quote, the exact words from Emre Can, he says, quote, "He's a great boy. I get along with him very well. He can't afford to make mistakes like this in the future." In terms of, he could talk to him. I mean, just go behind closed doors. Moving away from Bundesliga, Serie is set for in June 20th kickoff. There's a bunch of fat men getting ready to play ball in that league. Come on, MLS is still battling out, trying to figure, do they want to play?
Hold on a second, you're not talking about Balotelli.
Okay, come on, Balotelli's contract and Berisha decide to part way. What should we talk about? Come on.
You need to put it out there because Balotelli is my guy. I mean, Balotelli is something. It's just the talent. Just if not waste him talent, I just don't understand.
Okay, now that you've gotten it out there, come on. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, disappointed in Balotelli. I'm to Chelsea. Mm-hmm.
So Balotelli is no longer a Berisha player, and Balotelli is trying to look to start a league in Africa. I think he was talking about players pulling resources and maybe start something back there, right? You guys heard that reports? Yeah. So Balotelli trying to be down for the cause. Moving away as we wrap up our show, MLS, come on. Any news on the MLS? They're still trying to negotiate if they want to play in Disney or Fantasyland.
I think they've made a decision, and they're saying that it's going to be held at one location, a tournament style. That teams will be flown there, they'll be quarantined there, and they'll play at least 5 games in a tournament style down in Florida.
And the question I have, if Bundesliga is bad without fans, and I'm not very excited about watching Bundesliga without fans, how will I feel about watching MLS without fans? Can MLS do more damage to its product by showing these games on TV?
They can do like what Bayer Leverkusen do and cover it, make it look like there's people in the stands, and they can pipe in crowd noise. I mean, they'll make it work.
Because I mean, MLS is not the best quality of football.
Even when Atlanta is playing.
No, don't worry. A Jamaican BM at Jamaican Girl says Bale doesn't need grooming. The world already know what he can do. It's obvious he's not being benched because of his football ability. I don't even know if it's football ability or not. But regardless, Bale need Virgin find a way to get on the field and stay up on the field. I just that me I said. Any other major news coming out this week? The TNT-FA versus FIFA sagas, as TNT-FA withdrew its case at CAS, and the case is not there, so they're going to try to work that out in the courts in Trinidad and Tobago. Good luck to you, TNT-FA and President Wallace. That's it for mine. And come on in, and Juna, do you have anything? As we wrap up the show, engineer for say, wrap up the show.
I don't have nothing.
You didn't talk about the 6-0 that Arsenal gave Charlton, struggling Charlton in a friendly. So Arsenal is on their way to getting their squad together to lose 6-1 to Man City.
I would be happy if Arsenal actually win that game. Just for hear you come on here and just have to admit that Arsenal can. Mikel Arteta let Arsenal find a way to win games.
Okay.
Anything else, Junior? Anything else from here? And as engineer, I said, wrap up the show, Ball Chat family. Football is back. Football is back.
We just have to tell the people, get ready. Ballers and Bugs. We should start Ballers and Bugs next week.
Yes, we should.
Spanish league start back. Germany is in Bundesliga is in full gear. We should start about Ballers and Bugs.
And Jason Frame says, come on, bad mind, come on. As in football family, wrap it up, Junior. Yo.
You don't know you can follow us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast, on Twitter, Ball Chat 1, on Facebook at Ball Chat. Email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. As usual, the full episode, you can watch it live on Island Sports Network YouTube page, also on our Facebook page, and also our Twitch page, also our YouTube page as well for Ball Chat. So you can also re-watch the show or listen to audio. It's available on iTunes, on Google Play, on Spotify, and also on Stitcher, and wherever you get iHeart, right? We're on iHeart, right?
Yes, we're on iHeart.
I need to update the flyer. We're running out of spaces, but iHeart as well. People, we are everywhere. Tell a friend. Remember, Ball Chat was here during the pandemic. Hey, this sound like an infomercial. We were there beside you during the pandemic. Now, as we enter the new season post-pandemic, join us again next week. Bring your friends, bring your family. We're practicing social distancing.
Chat, lock up the show now, man.
No me infomercial, no boss. Anyway, later.
Look more family.
Later. Come on, later.